This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Corey Winfield. You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield. Anyway, call me back, bro.
22nd of May, year is 2021. Marnie Winfield sent her to the stove. No, she's not on today, but I do have a special guest. Joining me in the 217 Recovery Studio is Luke. Luke, how's it going, man?
It's going great, Corey. How you doing today?
Doing well, man.
Excellent.
You've been following the podcast for a while, and
yes,
I've known you for a little bit, and it's about time we've had Luke on.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, man. I'm excited. You know, a little nervous. This is the first podcast I've ever been on, though I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I'm a little nervous. But I think we can hack this one.
We can do it.
Okay.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Alrighty.
It's just talking into a microphone.
That's right.
At the end of it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was." And a lot of the times, the time will actually get away from us. Like we'll be going an hour, and you'll be like, "Man, that was like 15 minutes." Because talking about recovery is fun.
Corey, what episode is this?
This is episode 478.
Oh, wow.
I believe.
That is amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
What a feat. What are you going to do for your 500th episode?
I think I'm going to do an episode on countdowns.
Oh, cool. Like Casey Kasem?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. No, but that's a good question, though. I mean, maybe I do my top 5 favorite podcasts that I like to do or something, or rank them.
Yeah, absolutely. You could broadcast from the beach. I don't know.
Yeah,
could go have a picnic episode.
I don't know about picnics.
Okay,
not a big fan.
Yeah,
it's bugs everywhere.
Yeah, and then you have to drag your digital studio.
Well, it's not that bad. I mean, we have a tent, we have a table. Are you going to the event in Paw Paw on the 24th of July?
Oh, I don't know. What's happening?
The Recovery Zone. Some friends of ours, they're a 501c3 nonprofit too, and the woman who started it kind of similar to me, except I didn't make drugs and stuff out of my house or live in a trailer in the woods. But other than that, though, she's cool in recovery and decided, you know what, how come people aren't helping? How come people aren't doing this? And then it was like, all right, well, then I'll do it. So she opened up her own little thing down there. She has a building, and they do meetings, and they just want to party. They want to celebrate people in recovery. We don't really do that enough.
No. Especially, during this pandemic, I found it hard to even be able to hit the meetings that I want to, Well,
it's tough, man. And last year, they were going to have it, and again, I gave her some hell because she called it the first annual. Which you can't have a first annual.
First annual.
It's the inaugural. But so this year, it's really, she actually called me to see if it was okay to call it the first annual again because it's technically the second one. So it's the second first annual. It's really.
It's a little misleading, but.
Yeah. And then I noticed I was on the flyer, so I'm going to be there.
Oh, great.
Speaking,
awesome.
I guess.
Cool.
So that'll be a good time.
What times? Times to start?
I want to say like 9 or 10 in the morning, and it goes pretty much all day, all night.
Paw.
Yeah, Paw Paw. It's just outside Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Which, we're going to go down there and party it up, sober style.
Great. Sounds fun. I don't think I can make it, but...
You never know.
That's true. Yeah.
We'll fly you down there or something.
That sounds great.
Sign some autographs.
Talk to my agent.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be on many podcasts after this one.
Definitely, yeah.
Make the rounds.
I know.
Put it out there. What if you made a living doing that? I wonder if you could.
I've pondered it. I know people do make a living.
But all you'd have to do, though, Luke, is get Red Bull or...
Barstool Sports.
There you go.
They sponsor a lot of people. They sponsor private business owners. They sponsor a lot of people, but they also sponsor folks to create their own content and broadcast.
There you go.
Pretty cool.
And then you could infiltrate the market you could go on like any kind of show. You could go on recovery shows, which isn't, you're on a recovery show now, but this isn't what you're doing today. But in the future, we could set it up. And then you go on all the recovery shows. And then when you're in there, you're like, oh, yeah, I got to say thanks to Barstool, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then you don't even know it. And then next thing you know, you're an Overeaters podcast, you know, or you're branching out and getting people like me to go on Overeaters podcast for you and like talk about how I give up ice cream and how it was, you know, just as bad as giving up alcohol.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds like a great way to
profit, help
myself through maybe helping other people. You know, I see a huge return on that.
Low startup costs, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Just don't let your agent take too much.
Right.
But no, seriously though. But yeah, we were talking off the air, and you mentioned that you have 10 months clean now. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yep, I have 10 months clean. I'm a person in recovery from drinking alcohol. Alcohol used to control my life, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to give up the alcohol. And Corey, that's where I met you on my journey, was just a few days after I'd quit drinking. I was in residential treatment where I met you, and you were a drug and alcohol or substance abuse counselor, a good shoulder, a good ear, and you were also a great X-rated Pictionary host. That was great. I had a lot of fun mixing it up.
I like to think it was more activities guy.
Activities guy? Okay.
Fun activities guy.
All right. Well, specifically, we played X-rated Pictionary, and that was a blast. I recommend that to any willing group of adults. Anyway, I met Corey through ATS. I also met his lovely wife Marnie through ATS, and they both just put their hand out and took care of me in any way they could. I could call them middle of the night. They would answer. They're just amazing folks. So thanks, Corey. Thanks, Marnie.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. And we see people who want it, and it might be hard sometimes, you know. It doesn't mean that you don't want it, but we see people, and we like to help them, you know. And not everybody we help, you know, make it, and not everybody we help is sincere. But you're only hurting yourself if you're not, you know. But for people like you who, you know, seem to have some momentum going, you know, that's awesome. We love seeing that.
Right. I think I was finally personally ready for a change. For a long time, I wasn't ready. And yeah, you have to be ready, or, you know, you're not going to make those changes. But I had burned enough bridges. I was like melting away financially, physically, deteriorating, man, just experiencing so much loss from this prolonged alcohol abuse. So I'm living in some uncharted territory right now. I mean, it's just unprecedented. Yep.
Did the thought of never being able to drink or use drugs again, did that scare you? Was that hard?
Absolutely, especially in the first few months, because I realized that I'm not supposed to drink alcohol. I'm basically allergic to it. It's killing me. I know I can't have it, but how in the hell am I gonna do it? Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge thing to ponder. How am I ever gonna be sober for the rest of my life? And it's true what they say. It's one day at a time. All you have to do is be sober today. You don't have to think about being sober tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Don't even think about it, you know. And it sounds cliche, but man, it's the truth. One day at a time.
Yeah, and as long as you can focus on that day, whatever problems come along today, go to a meeting, you know, like call somebody. But going to the liquor store, and pretty soon, I don't know, maybe it's happened to you already, but like pretty soon it becomes not even an option. Like your brain doesn't even go there anymore.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's something I just realized, I don't know, a month or so ago about all the meetings that I was made to go to at the sober living house that I lived at. That was training my brain. You know, like, hey, where do I go to relieve stress? I go to meetings. So if the wife's not agreeing with me on something that I'm totally right on, I get a little frustrated, I'm going to a meeting.
Dig in.
You know, and it's just
Absolutely.
like, it didn't even hit me till like a month or two ago that, damn, my brain has been retrained.
Yes.
You know, liquor doesn't even pop in my head.
Absolutely. We rebuild those neural pathways, you know, by having good, positive, happy experiences in life without substance abuse. We start to rebuild those happy neurons. And it's true. That science is very true.
Because for so many years, that's all we went to. That's all we knew. You know, oh, there's a baseball game on, football game on, it's cold out, it's hot out, laundry day. It didn't matter. You know, everything that we did, next thing you know, associated with alcohol. So, oh, I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling whatever. Alcohol. Oh, I'm happy. Alcohol. Let's celebrate alcohol. Alcohol. Yep. And that's our only thing. And that becomes our whole life. And then our friends are like, nope. Our real friends are like, don't want to hang out with you, buddy.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, oh man, one after another, I watched my close friends turn me away, you know, and I still haven't made it totally right with a couple of those friends. And that's a hard pill to swallow at the end of the day, man. Realizing that you just turned your friends off, you know, to you. And, so, man, it feels good to be on the other side, on the upswing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, man. Sobriety is a gift. I think that, addiction and having all these experiences, as difficult as they've been is also a gift. Absolutely.
Hey, we were talking before we came in to the studio about a friend of mine who's been going through it, and you know his drug of choice is meth. And yeah, I tried it once, but I don't really think I fully understand years and years of doing meth and what that does to the brain and the things that he goes through. You know, but to me, it just seems like he doesn't want to quit. But people probably thought of that about me as well. You know, oh, he doesn't want to stop drinking. Oh no, I wanted to stop drinking, I just couldn't.
Absolutely.
You know, like it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him for it, but it's like I don't really know how to be there for him, and
right.
I try to think that all addiction's the same, but I don't know if it truly really is, you know? Right.
I don't think it's a moral issue. You know, I think people get in their head, yeah, this person doesn't want to stop. They just want to be high all the time, and they have no morals. But really, addiction to meth is chemically going to be different than addiction to alcohol. Mm-hmm. I think maybe one might be a little more difficult to stop. I don't really understand the chemistry of all of it, but
yeah. But at some point, though, I had to give up the thought of that I could drink again one day, because I always had that in the back of my mind too, that well, one day I'll be able to drink again. And once I was able to throw that out and it's not an option for me to drink again, that is when I think I moved forward and broke through the wall like the Kool-Aid man, you know, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, oh yeah. And that's when everything kind of changed. And that's when, and not that I wasn't taking it serious before, it's just I still thought that I was different. There's a way that I can still do this, way I can pull this off and still do what I want to do. So I don't know. I kind of wonder if, you know, if he's going through that kind of thing. I don't really know. You know, he'll have to figure that out on his own, but it's tough, man, seeing your friends go through it. But at the same time, you can't blame your friends for going, you know what, Luke, I've had enough, you know, like, no, we're done, buddy. And it's not that they don't like you or don't ever want to be your friend again one day. And that's something that, like, down the road, some relationships can be repaired, some aren't meant to be repaired, you know, but keep those sober friends close and those people that support your recovery close. And I think that's what's really important for people like us in early recovery.
Yep, absolutely. Yes. I didn't have to work very hard to change my friends and change my surroundings. When you take substance abuse out of your life, out of the picture, man, things start happening for you. You know, you keep your side of the street clean. Help yourself to the help that's available, meetings, a sponsor, a sobriety coach, and things will start falling in place in time, you know.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Like, I've told that to so many people, and the stuff that's happened to me and with 217 and just everything, man, happens. And it's just like, man, if I'd have left the house 5 minutes earlier, I mean, just little things even. I'm like really thinking about, like, how did that happen today? Why did that happen today? Like, oh my God. Well, if I was drunk today, none of that would have happened.
Absolutely. Yes. We manifest, you know, good things.
And I just tell people, and I see it happen to other people. My friend Justin, I don't know if you knew Justin. I'm not sure if you know Justin.
I don't know.
Do you know anybody named Justin?
Sure.
Okay, you know him then.
Okay.
That one guy, the beard now.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
But same thing with him. You know, he keeps doing the right things, and he quits jobs the right way. And I know that it sounds weird the way I just said that, but even that, you know, I quit a job the right way, and it felt so good. And then it led, later on, I actually interviewed the woman who runs Sanford House in Grand Rapids, and that was set up by a guy that I went in for my 90-day review. I quit. I was like, I'm done. He's like, we're thinking the same. You know, you're not a yes man. I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm not.
Yes, I'm not.
And so we went our separate ways, and it wasn't his decision. It was some other lady.
Right, but you cut ties, but you did it appropriately.
Yes,
yeah.
And later on, boom, he works down there, and I'm like, hey, man, can you hook me up? I didn't want to talk to this lady. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And then I found out that she was really hard to get in touch with. So it was it worked out perfect. But if I would have burnt that bridge, I wouldn't have felt comfortable to even reach out to the guy.
Absolutely.
So,
yep.
you know, it's just little things like that, and you start realizing, like, wow, you know, if I would have done that the wrong way. But and you're not going to make every decision right. You know, not every decision, but we can't dwell on it. Oh, was that right? Was that wrong? Man. We just got to make them, but we're making them sober.
Life is easier, man.
It's so much easier.
It is. And we're not just soaked in apathy and man, I just am so happy to be without alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a point where it's like, I just, like I said earlier, like, I don't ever want to drink again. And it's like that where it used to be, oh man, what do you mean I can never drink again? You know, now it's, well, I would never want to drink again. I've already done enough.
Drank the fun right out of it. I mean, there's really, how much more, you know, do I want? I mean, I'm just dishing out trouble for myself.
So, have you taken any kind of like recovery coach training, or is that something that you're interested in?
I haven't. Actually, I have not. Marnie sent me a little information, and I have been really considering working as a sobriety coach. I think I'd be good at it. Just listening. I'm a good listener. Just giving people, you know, concise help, day-to-day problems. But no, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, I've taken recovery coach training twice.
Okay. How long of a training is that?
It was over 2 weekends. Okay. Well, the first one I took was over 2 weekends, and the next one was like a 4-day training, but that was online on Zoom.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad, and you learn a lot, and you learn how to approach different people, and you learn how to not really call them out without calling them out, but more kind of coach them to the right decision, because you're not really their sponsor. You're not supposed to be their friend, and you're not supposed to give them rides. There's a lot of things that you're not supposed to do because, you know, you're the coach. You know, would Bill Belichick do that with Tom Brady? Well, I guess they're not together anymore.
It may be different.
But, you know, you kind of look at it like you're more of that kind of guy. You know, you're not the sponsor that they're going to call at 3 a.m, even though they probably will.
Oh, okay. So it's not somebody that you'd call in a crisis.
You could.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of them, a lot of people do. But that's the knock on the recovery coaching is here's the set of rules that they tell you. Boom. This is what this is your job description. And then there's the other set of rules that the client hands you. Here's my expectations of what you're going to do for me. At the end of the day, you're in recovery. They're in recovery. You just want to help them. You know, at the end of the day, you take the other list of guided rules and you're like, all right, dude needs to get to this meeting. He has no other way to get there. If he doesn't, he goes back to jail. I'm going to go take him there.
Yes.
Oh, nope, you broke all the rules, you know. So, like, as far as being paid as a recovery coach, I don't think that's possible for me. And it's the same reason why I would never be a drug counselor. It just wouldn't work. I would break the rules.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So would I. You know, I'm people's friend.
Yeah,
know,
and
I'd be better off with a, you know, private practice, maybe, you know, like yourselves. I know Marnie talked about, you know, having dreams of opening, you know, a recovery center.
Yeah.
You know, that would be huge. Yeah, I think I would do the same thing if I had enough money.
Yeah, I think that would be something that I think that'd be huge to have here in Traverse City.
Yes.
I mean, every city really should have one. You know, a little 217 center.
I like that. Yep.
But no, where people can go for meetings and coaching, because especially with the pandemic too, you know, like if you're going to see a recovery coach, well, you're not supposed to be in the car with them. You can't go to their house. They can't go to your house. You're supposed to meet in public.
Wow.
Okay, so you want to go down to Outback and you can cry in your steak and tell me about how miserable your day is, and who's paying for that?
Blow your nose in your bloomin' onion.
Yeah, I got to buy you a bloomin' onion because you don't have money. You know, I mean, how many? And there's just a lot of things that you just question mark. And it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, though, for people like me, and probably like you, I assume, we just want to see these people do good. You know, we want to see them make it.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. But if we had a facility where people could go, people had offices, we had big old meeting rooms, we had every kind of meeting you can think of, just all the time, just bam, 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 bam. We had a job resource center where we have somebody who finds people jobs or updates resumes or helps people out, you know, and can't be drunk when you come in there, you know, like just, that'd be obvious. But if you are, there's somebody else in another room that can help you.
Yeah, a community center for a sobriety community center.
We could have a fake jail.
A fake jail.
I wonder how legal that would be.
A jail simulation.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, there'd be some insurance policies involved, probably.
Or put you in a hospital.
Oh my god.
With mean doctors. You ever had that?
Mean doctors?
Yeah.
I find that the times I've been to the emergency room for alcohol-related incidences, the staff, you know, wasn't extremely warm. But I think their patience runs out for people coming in, under the influence.
They told me I was their favorite drunk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that wasn't an award I was trying to win either. I was just like, I just kind of put my
oh man, I know,
head in my hand and thought, well, I guess I win something.
You win. You're still alive.
Yeah, but they didn't like to see me in there, man. That's for sure. And it was just a beat down. So we could do like a fake hospital room. I don't know. Like, well, don't show up drunk here again, man. Like, like if we opened our center, I don't know. We'll work on that. I'm sure the board will have some suggestions that are better than what I just came up with. But yeah, to have something like that, I think would be huge. And, you know, we're looking at all kinds of things. You know, of course, funding, like you mentioned, is something that helps with everything. And it's really hard for us right now because it's like we're in an area that they know there's a problem, but they kind of want to, some people want to just push it down the side, you know. It's kind of like the homeless population here in Traverse City, Michigan. And I used to think, wow, you know, like being homeless, that would suck. And then I remember thinking when I was drinking a lot that I'm one paycheck away from being out there
on the street.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how close I was. And then, you know, I lived in my car, but I could have went other places, but I chose to stay in my car. But, you know, it sucks. But then I was in treatment center in Grand Rapids, Turning Point, and there were a couple guys in there, and they were just using the system. And that's when it really kind of opened my eyes, because I was like, well, these guys, you know, they just hard luck, you know, bad luck. And no, they wanted to be homeless. And I don't know, and there has to be some part of the addiction that takes over your brain like that, because nobody says when they're 7 years old, yep, I want to live on the streets and, you know, beg for my food.
No.
Nobody says that. But these guys were like, yeah, I can't wait to get back to my tent. I was like, well, you can go to a sober living house. He's like, nah.
Where you're comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to break out of that.
I'm just here, he said, to kind of fatten up, and it was really cold out, so I figured I'd come here for a couple weeks and get back to my tent, drink my beer.
Man, getting sober is a monster. It's a mountain, you know.
But some homeless people are straight up bad. Like, I know a guy that's in the inn right now. He's trying his ass off to get out, you know, and he's calling places, and he's wearing my phone out. I know he's wearing everybody else's out too, but he's proving a point that, look, I'm staying here, and the place he's staying at, they allow drinking in there.
Yes.
So that it's just kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And
awful.
But as long as it's away from town, keep them away from.
Oh gosh, they just put them out on the edge of town.
Yep. Keep them away from the tourists, and there we go. Instead of like actually building a place for them to go look.
Absolutely, it's like they're hidden, you know, in a pocket. Yeah. It's sad.
Instead of like let's have rules, let's get you going. But instead, it's just like it's not a game, but it's played like it almost. It's like, okay, you go from here, you get kicked out if they do something wrong or yell or stupid or fight. Okay, then they have to leave, and then it's back to treatment, and then treatment. Okay, then they try to do this for a living. Well, they don't really care. They're just there for a minute, and then they go back. Because there's always a place for them, you know. But it's
not always you know, totally absolutely livable.
No, here's your tent.
Here's your tent. Yep.
Go out in the woods, and then of course you trash the woods. But you know, as long as you're out of the tourist site, then. Well, that's fine.
Yep. Business as usual.
Yeah. Well, I think if they would build 4 or 5 apartment complexes to put them up in.
Yeah. Shelters with rooms, you know, different rooms.
Yeah. And have some rules. No drinking. No drugs in here.
Stringent. Yeah.
You know, and now you get kicked out and you won't come back for a year. You know, I think just having that kind of structure or those kind of rules, I think it's not going to save them all. It's not going to cure the problem.
No.
But it could help half of them. You know, and we always say if you could just help one person,
yes,
that person helps 5 people. You never know. That next person you're helping could help thousands of people.
Yep. Absolutely.
You never know. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But we wanted to play a game, or at least I did. Well, not Pictionary, even though I'm the best host ever at Pictionary. No, we want to do a quiz just to see how you do, Luke.
Okay. I didn't study.
I think you're going to do really good on this. All right.
All right.
Now, I want you to go back to 11 months ago. Okay? And I want you to answer that. No, don't like... we're just role playing. But like that type of thinking. Like when you were like kind of like, what the hell to do? I don't know. All right. And these are yes or no questions.
Okay.
Have you ever decided to stop drinking for a week or so, but only lasted for a couple days?
Yes.
Do you wish people would mind their own business about your drinking? Stop telling you what to do?
Yes.
Have you ever switched from one kind of drink to another in hopes that this would keep you from getting drunk?
No.
That's kind of a dumb one. Have you ever had an eye-opener upon awakening during the past year?
An eye-opener.
Upon awakening during the last year.
Yeah, my eyes opened when I woke up. I guess an eye-opener? Can you be more specific?
Like, I would say this would be either waking up going...
Like an experience that maybe that shocked me a little bit.
What happened to my car?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Where's all my money? Okay.
Answer, yes.
Do you envy people who can drink without getting into trouble?
No.
Have you ever had problems connecting with drinking during the past year?
I'm sorry. Connecting with drinking?
Connected with drinking.
Oh, connected. Dude, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, Corey?
Sorry, I really messed that up.
That's okay.
Have you had problems connected with drinking during the past year?
Yeah. Yep.
Has your drinking caused trouble at home?
Yes.
Did you ever try to get extra drinks at the party because you didn't get enough?
I think so. These are really vague. I think so. Extra drinks. Yeah, I was often prepared, just very well prepared.
We go in with extra.
Yeah, extras. And it was always included.
Do you tell yourself you can stop drinking at any time you want to? Anytime you want to, even though you keep getting drunk? No. You don't mean to?
At some point in my life, but the last 10 years, I knew I couldn't stop.
Have you missed days of work because of drinking?
Oh yeah.
Do you have blackouts?
I used to, yeah.
Have you ever felt that your life would be better if you did not drink?
Thought that all the time.
That's it.
And it's true.
And that's 12 questions. So let's see the results. This is from back in the day.
Well, I know what it's going to say. Yeah, what year is this survey from?
2018.
It's from like Cosmo? Red Book?
It's from an organization that does not wish to nor endorses or opposes any causes or anything.
Oh, okay.
And wants to not get into the public media.
Right.
It's AA.
Yes.
So all it says is if you answered yes to 4 or more, then you might want to think about getting
that's the criteria.
Some help a little bit.
Okay, sure. Well, I did ask for help. I found help.
So why wouldn't they just put the 4 good questions on there and just say we've answered yes to all of them?
Right.
Because a real alcoholic, I mean, we could go through there and go this one, this one, this one, this one, and we've all been like, yep. You ever miss work because? Yep. But there was a part though, or most of my life where I didn't miss any work. Of course, my job was pretty simple. I'd stroll in around 11, talk on the radio for a bit, go home. But it wasn't like a construction job or like a real job where I had to punch a time clock because I'm sure my ass would have been fired for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then when I had to be hospitalized, I guess I did miss work.
Yes.
I used vacation days, but...
I showed up to work for years, halfway or fully probably intoxicated, waiting tables. And that became the norm, just waking up still under the influence after a night of drinking, going to work, getting out of work, and doing it all over again. And that's an easy cycle to get stuck in, especially when everyone around you is doing it, So
I used to think, and I used to count out too, like how many beers I was going to have and how many I could crunch into the 4 hours I had before I went to bed. So that way in the next morning, in my mind, I would be fine.
You're sober.
Yeah. Like, well, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can drink 16 beers in 4 hours, and then I should be fine the next morning, which then I would go the next morning, and it felt like it was like burning out of my skin. I could just feel it. And then my coworkers would tell me that my studio smelled like a brewery or that I just smelled like liquor sitting in a meeting. They're like, we know you didn't drink today, but like, dude,
why do you smell like soy milk?
Yeah, like we know you showered, like, but why is it coming? Like, that's crazy, dude.
Sweating it out, yeah.
And I thought I was fooling people, man. And
me too.
Just thinking back to those days, and I wake up like this, and I'm sure you do. If you don't, you will. Where you wake up and you're just like, oh my God, and you'll start thinking about like, man, it's Saturday or football's on. Like, I normally would have been up already getting trashed. I'd have been trying to figure out how to get more. Like, I'm so glad I don't have to live that way anymore.
Yeah, try to get a ride here, borrow money there. It's an extra full-time job that you pay for.
And when you get up and you grab your phone, you're not like, oh shit,
who did I call? What did I tell my parents? None of that.
Nope. I was looking at him like, all right, cool. What's on sale at Best Buy today? Because I got extra money.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love coming home to no mail in the mailbox. It's the best. Give me junk mail. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
A birthday card once in a while, but I'm good with no news.
Yeah. And were you the type of person that never checked your mail?
No, I check my mail. Yeah, I always check my mail. I feel like the if you don't check your mail, the mail person notices it's piling up and stops dropping your mail. I don't think that's a thing. That's a conspiracy that I drew up.
But I mean, after a while, they're going to be like, "Well, this dude's not getting his mail."
So I always grab the mail.
But did you like just throw it on the counter? Like if you knew it was bills that you didn't have the money for, would you just leave it just sit there?
Oh, yes. I wouldn't look at it. I would just recycle this stuff.
Like, electric bill.
Well, I would always pay that. I'm talking like a tax bill, student loan bills. You know, those just go on to the recycling. But I think I've gotten better about paying all my bills, and I don't really have debt, which is amazing. So, yeah, living the dream. Single. I'm single.
Single? He's sober. He doesn't have debt.
There.
Ladies, what's up?
What up?
His name's Luke.
Get at me. I'm 28. Plus a few years.
But age is just a number.
It is.
And, you know, with all those years of drinking, you know, you probably are about 28. You know, bring it back a little bit. And
yeah. Yes.
You ever seen the show, and I've mentioned the show many, many times on the podcast, but it's called My Name Was Betty.
No.
It's well, I'm not comparing you to Betty, but it just shows what alcohol does to women and how it affects them and how it affects their body, like totally differently than what it does for us. Like it hits their organs quicker. It hits their brain quicker. Like, and if you're a woman, I'm not trying to scare you into stopping drinking, but you should probably stop drinking anyway. But just watch that. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And first of all, the kids, and I'll say this over and over, the kids were horrible. They're a little mom, this old lady, she's drinking her life away, and she ends up dying, obviously, by the name of the title. My Name Was Betty, but she's just this old, and she just starts getting senile, and it's because of the drinking. And the kids were like, wow, we didn't even step foot in her house for 15 years because she wouldn't let us. Dude, she had like possums living in the house and rats, and like she stopped taking her trash out because she had so many alcohol liquor bottles. She thought her neighbors would see them, so she just stopped taking the trash out. Like, dude, those kids should be punished. Like, and not kids, I mean, like, they're 40s, 30, 40-year-old kids. We didn't go there because mom is sitting in it. You go kick your mom's door in, I would.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, no, mom, we got problems.
Take
You're coming
it,
out.
yeah.
We're going to get you some help today.
You're going to be on TLC.
Yeah,
first.
it's never going to make a movie about you and how you died miserable and alone because we didn't do anything.
Right.
I don't know. But, you know, people got to do it for themselves. So maybe they did try it, but they just left that part out of the movie.
Dang, I'll check that out.
But yeah, it's just crazy, man. So women, if you got sisters, moms, whatever, like, have them watch that show. And not to, like, tell them this is what's going to happen to you, but if you played that movie for me and it was, like, showing how it, like, was twice as bad for men, I would probably think a little bit more, at least about seeking help.
Okay.
You know, because there was that point where we were like, no, I don't need help yet. I'm good.
Absolutely.
You know? And there comes a point where you start to realize, like, okay, like when you get to that one-on-one time with yourself, I remember I would start shaking at work, and I'm like, man, this is not good. This isn't good. You know, I know this is leading to something that has to do with the alcohol, because every time I get home and I drink the alcohol, the shakes go away. So at least if in my alone time, I knew there was something wrong. I knew I had a problem. But at least in a long time, if I could watch something like that and at least get real with myself, like, all right, well, maybe I can reach out for help. And that's another thing. You know, a lot of people think they can't reach out for help, or they're going to be judged, or I can't because my work's going to know, or this and that. And most jobs are going to be cool with you reaching out for help.
Yes.
And I would say most. But again, at the end of the day, it's a medical thing. They don't even need to know. You know, they don't need to know where you're going or what you're doing. You just need to know that you're going. And I wish I could tell you that it will be better, because it will. Your life will get better if you do cut out drugs. But
and you're not alone. Everybody struggles, you know, in their life, whether it's drugs, alcohol, addiction of some sort, anger. Everybody struggles. So we're not alone. No matter how good somebody's life looks on social media, or when you see them on the street, everybody suffers. It's learning how do we suffer, you know. There's a good book, No Mud, No Lotus, talks about suffering well, and handling grief. It's a great book. No Mud, No Lotus.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by. sand and water.
No, but just don't worry about what other people are thinking. You know, I mean,
It's none of your business.
Yeah, look at Jennifer Aniston. People think, oh, she's so hot. She got a great life. Psh, Brad Pitt dumped her ass. You know, like, there was something not good about her. You know, it's like
human.
Megan Fox. Oh, she's so hot. Really? She's got 2 kids by that dude from 90210. Not even the famous one. I mean, I guess he's famous, but whatever. Like, that life's got to be miserable. You know, I mean, like, so we look at other people, and it's not really about other people. It's about us.
It is.
You know, we only live once, and
yeah, life is short. It's too short to worry about what other people think about you,
especially
man.
when you're getting help. You know, like, that's the thing.
Helping yourself, man. Getting help is sexy.
Yeah.
You know, helping yourself to the good in life.
Yeah. You know, what are you here for? Well, I want to stop using. I want to get better. I want a better life. Oh, you piece of shit. Like, who's going to say that? You know, like, no, that was me yesterday.
That's embarrassing.
But today, here's where I'm at, and here's what I'm wanting to do. So, you know, just know that there are people like Luke and I out here that we got your back. And you're going to meet many more people like Luke and I that you go to meetings, you go places where people are doing recovery things, and you'll see that life is fun. I doubt you're going to have an awesome Pictionary host, but you never know. But that was me just showing guys that they could have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
In recovery, and guys, they didn't realize that, man.
Oh man, I was scared to join up with that Pictionary crew. You know, everyone's hooting and hollering, and finally I said, "Screw it." You know, I need to stop isolating. So, man, I'm glad I did, Corey.
Yeah, it was fun, like, to see guys what they're drawing on the board. And some of it was most of it was X-rated.
Most of it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to just see them laugh, and then I would love it when you guys would come up, because they would come up to the podium where I was at, and there was a dry erase board behind me, kind of, and they would come up, they would get one, and I would take, like, I don't know,
get a clue,
right? 25 pieces of paper, and I cut them real small, and I'd fold them all up, and I put them in this little makeshift paper bin that I had made as well, and they'd pull one out, and they'd have to unwrap it like 80 times to read it, and they'd look at it, and they'd just look at me like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
some of them needed a definition,
they're like,
a little explanation. What does that mean? Well,
so I have to go take it in the hallway, and this is what this is, and they'd be like,
then
you dirty MFer.
They'd run away, go back to their room.
How am I supposed to draw that? I don't know. Good luck. 2 minutes starts now. But for real though, the guys in there, man, they loved it, and
yes,
it was supposed to be like just once a week. I was going to do it, and then it turned into like Friday and Saturday night, and it was just a way that they could laugh, and they'd be like, "Man, looking forward to this all day," and it was just that release from, you know, dealing with those emotional things that you dealt with all day, going through treatment.
Yeah, looking inward all day long. Like, you know,
let's have fun, and I
really helped. Yep.
I heard so many times people say, "I didn't know I could laugh this hard."
I know.
Sober.
Laughter, man, save your life.
It was great. So those little things, sometimes you got to make them yourself, and it's hard to kind of get into that mindset at first, but after a while, you find some things that you like to do, and you find people you like to be around, and the next thing you know, man, you're off and running, and you got yourself a new little hobby.
Yes. Gosh. Amen. Amen to new hobbies. I've been growing a garden this spring, fishing a lot more, just finding ways to have fun where, you know, I used to not have fun. So just discovering.
What's been the biggest, besides listening to the 217 Recovery podcast, of course, right. But what's been the biggest tool that you've used over and over that's really helped you keep you straight?
I would say playing out the tape, remembering where I came from, what happened to me in my journey, and why I am where I am right now. It's from using excessive amounts of alcohol to numb myself for years. You know, numb pain I wouldn't face. And so just playing out the tape, thinking like, if I drink, say I have a shitty day, playing out the tape, it's thinking, what's going to happen to me if I do take that first drink, you know? And it's just not something I want, you know, I don't anymore. I've been through it. So yeah, playing out the tape.
So I used to think I'd start the tape and then I'd pause it and think, but this time it's going to be different. Or who cares? You know, like no one's going to know this time because I'll write the shit before anyone finds out. But that was never the case. It never happened for me. I could never stop it. And I think that's with most people, and that's what they say, the first drink, you know, stay away from that first drink. And, you know, to actually think about it, like I said, play the tape through and realize, okay, at the end of this, what's really going to happen? And you can, you know, listen to your fake story that your brain's going to tell you, and then listen to your soul and say, okay, look, what's really going to happen? Okay, I'm going to end up in the hospital. Might lose my job. I mean, I've lost every other job every time I decided to do this, you know, and then you start thinking about it, and then 5 minutes later, you're like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, you have to let it pass. Give yourself time. You have a craving or a thought, you know, you got to give yourself, it's critical. Give yourself 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, an hour. Just get through that initial craving and don't pick up. Gosh, so easy to say that, you know. Our minds play tricks on us, but yeah, you're right.
And earlier I said how if I get into an argument or something with my wife or whatever, if I get upset with somebody and I have to go to a meeting, that's the first reaction I have now. But that doesn't mean there's not times where I wake up and it's a sunny day or I'm out driving and it's like, oh man, it'd be a perfect day to, you know, tie one on. Those thoughts still come to me. But like you said, you know, when you play out the tape and it gets easier every day, you know, every time I have to look back to think about it, and then I just shake my head, and then again it comes up with, I'm glad I don't have to live that way anymore. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. I'm glad that I'm stronger in my recovery. That's just not the life I want to live anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Even after only 10 months, I wouldn't trade those 10 months for a drink. It's not worth it. The last 10 months has been great. So
yeah, it's going to keep getting better. And I know sometimes it's hard to believe that too. People kept telling me that, like, and it's just only going to get better. And I was like, but it's so great now. And they're like, I'm telling you, just keep waiting. It gets better. And I'm like, but it's got to stop getting better at some point. And they're like, but it doesn't. And it's been right so far, so I'm just going to keep listening to them, you know, and like, all right, then it'll keep getting better, you know, as long as I keep doing the right things.
Do the next right thing for yourself, yeah.
You know, and stay away from what I need to stay away from and be the person I really want to be. Stay close with God and my spiritual relationship with Him, or whatever your God, whatever you want, whatever your higher power is, was it they say in AA, but, you know, stay close to that, true to that, and true to yourself, and play it through, play the tape. But
absolutely.
All right, Luke. Well, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast. We'll have to have you on again, and maybe you can, when you have your year, you can come back and tell me your story.
All right, I will in a couple of months. Yeah, I'll make a little outline of my story, and I would love that. Thanks for having me on today, man.
Yeah, hopefully we broke the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
No, not scary. Not too scary. I know I held back a little bit, but thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks again. Thanks, Corey. Thank you, Marnie. And shout out to ATS, all the fantastic staff. Folks are really taking care of me this last year, so I really appreciate it. And God bless.
Yeah. Shout out to ATS, Addiction Treatment Services in Traverse City. I like them too. No, check out our new app. Do you have our new app yet? Have you seen it? Did it take over on your phone?
I have not. I use my podcast player to listen to 217. I don't have your app yet.
Okay.
I'll download it right now.
All right. Get the app like Luke's about to do. It's free. Google Play Store, your iTunes Store, your App Store, whatever. And sign up. We're giving away free shirts on there. I think we're going to give away a hat next week. I can't remember the lady who won this last week, but we're sending you your shirt soon. And
congratulations.
Yeah, I think her name starts with an A. Congratulations. You won that shirt, by the way. But no, if you need resources, stuff like that, there's AA reflections, daily reflections at 24 hours a day. The readings are up there. We're going to add some more NA readings, but I just want to make sure that the app that we're using can get their scheduling on their calendar stuff right, so we can actually add it. And I know that's going to be there. So, but there is some stuff there now, and there's podcasts that I've loaded from 2019, 2020, and I keep adding more daily. So you'll get every episode on the app soon. So
Great.
all right, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday. But Marnie's Super Sunday playback or whatever, that's coming up tomorrow. So enjoy that.